What's going on, Crimson Tide fans? We are talking recruiting yet again on today's show because what else is there to talk about this time of the year? Jireh Edwards got a new prediction. He is a 5-star safety. Rivals has placed a prediction for him, so we'll talk about that. Matt Ponatoski, we'll talk about the latest on him. One of 2 Alabama quarterback targets has set an official visit with Alabama, and some more notable updates coming from 247 Sports on that as well. And also 2 massive D-line targets for the Crimson Tide, JJ Finch and Nolan Wilson. Both were on official visits to Tuscaloosa this past weekend. Now some more notable notes have come out on both of those guys as well. Before we get into that, though, I want to ask you guys, make sure you stay up to date on all Alabama football recruiting news out there. Turn those notifications on so you do not miss a single Alabama football report video here. Go back to where you first subscribed at the main page here on the channel. Change those notifications. Hit that bell icon. Change it from personalized to all so you know every single time we put a video out for you guys. If Alabama lands a commitment, we will have a video for you. So do not miss out. Make sure you turn those notifications on and join the NOTI Gang here at Chat Sports. All right, the first guy on today's video is Jireh Edwards. He does have a commitment date set on July 5th, so not too long we will know where the 5-star safety will be attending college. He's the number 3 safety in this class, and Alabama's going after some notable safeties. They're also going after the number 4 safety as well in Jet Washington, but Adam Gorney, he's the national recruiting director for Rivals. He actually wrote a little article just kind of talking about some different 5-stars out there and where he would predict right now where they would go. Now, Jireh Edwards did last week set an official visit with Alabama for June 6th through the 8th, so that's coming up this weekend as well, and we'll break down here sometime this week all the players that will be officially visiting Alabama this weekend. But this is what Adam Gorney had to say here on Jireh Edwards being predicted to Alabama now. He said maybe this weekend's visit to Auburn catapults the Tigers much higher up his list, but the word now is that Alabama leads Oregon while Georgia rounds out the top 3 for the 5-star safety. Some believe Texas A&M still has a real shot here, but by all indications, the Crimson Tide are the team to beat. If there is a threat to Alabama right now, it would be the Ducks, and if that coaching staff steps up even more with the Baltimore St. Francis standout, then things could get interesting. If he was picking today, though, it would be a surprise if Edwards did not go with Alabama. And, that's great to hear, especially from a guy that's, definitely, following all the recruiting and things like that. But I will say I do think it might be a little tad bit early to put out a prediction for Jireh Edwards. Haven't really seen anybody else really talk that high about Alabama with Jireh Edwards, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, he does have an official visit set up here this coming weekend. I feel like we will learn a whole lot more about where Alabama stands with Jireh Edwards' recruitment coming up after this weekend. All right, the next player I want to talk about here is Matt Ponatoski, one of the 2 Alabama quarterback targets. We talked about him a little bit yesterday, but then a little bit more information came out actually after that video came out. There's just a lot to like about this kid. He's a football player. He's a baseball player. And one of my big concerns as we've been talking about him is Alabama going to allow him to play baseball? Kind of sounds like they are going to allow him to play baseball. He's the number 16 ranked player for the Baseball America 2026 top high school draft prospects. That was back in February. Baseball America, currently as of May 22nd anyways, Prep Baseball has him ranked as the number 14 prospect as well. He throws 97 miles an hour off the mound. He hit 429 this past season, as well as 10 stolen bases as well. So the kid can run a little bit as well. And one note as well that I saw in his 247 Sports profile, he was actually committed to play baseball at Missouri as an 8th grader. So that's very, very interesting as well. Obviously, that is not the case anymore. But when you're talking about football as well, 69.4% completion percentage. You can type your nice down in the comment section. Back in 2024, also threw for over 3,400 yards, 57 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions. And we talk about the accolades for Matt Ponatoski as well. 2024 Ohio Mr. Football, 2024 Gatorade Ohio Football Player of the Year, 2024 Max Preps Ohio Football Player of the Year. Today, actually, it was announced that he was named the 2025 Gatorade Ohio Baseball Player of the Year as well. Also led his team to the state championship this past season in Ohio. Unfortunately, they did not win the state championship, but at the end of the day, still brought his team to the highest level in high school football in the state of Ohio. So you go into that state championship as well. This is a kid that Alabama definitely wants. You know, he's been talking to, Nick Sheridan, Ryan Grubb a lot here recently, and just recently as well got his offer from Alabama just a couple days after Oregon offered him. That is probably a little bit of note as well. The top 4 right here, this is what actually came out after we put our video out yesterday, was Ponatoski's top 4. Does have official visits set up here to Alabama and Oregon, has already taken visits to Kentucky and Arkansas for baseball. Not really sure, how much they really dove in on the, football side of things on those 2 schools. But, we talked about the fact that he's going to be having this official visit this weekend to Alabama. He's going to be talking to the football staff, going to be talking to the baseball staff as well. And it seems like Alabama is really considering letting him play both sports. And that does make me a little bit nervous, but we'll see what happens there. He did also tell 247 that he would like to have a decision probably late July or early August. So it's going to be after that Oregon visit. Seems right now Alabama, Oregon, the top 2 teams there, but you never really know. There's a lot of good baseball schools out there. Kentucky, Arkansas, very good baseball schools as well. Not, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for Alabama, not very good football schools out there. This is what Matt Ponatoski told 247 Sports about his upcoming visit to Alabama, kind of what he is searching for and what they're going to do there. He said, I'm going to try to see how the coaches are really about both sports. I think Alabama is really all about it. Coach Nick Sheridan, Coach Ryan Grubb. The main focus is we know that you can play both here, and we want you to play both here. So kind of feeling out that situation everywhere, getting the feeling that getting the feel with the baseball coaches and how they feel about me playing both sports. I'm just really excited to get there and see what the vibe and energy is like and see if it matches what I am looking for. I think the most notable thing there, obviously, is Alabama, Coach Nick Sheridan, Coach Ryan Grubb saying that they are willing to let him play baseball. We'll see what happens with Rob Vaughn and the Alabama coaching staff as well. Obviously, they just got knocked out of the regionals this past week, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, one of the best baseball players and one of the top football players as well in the country. Matt Ponatoski, definitely a name to monitor in terms of Alabama recruiting, both in baseball and in football as well. But the big thing that we've been talking about, would you let your quarterback play 2 sports? Whether that's going out there being a pitcher, maybe you're not going to let him do that, but maybe you would allow him to play shortstop or something like that because he does play shortstop as well. But let me know down at the pinned comment of today's video, if you were the coach, if you were Kalen DeBoer, would you allow your quarterback to play 2 sports? Let me know what you guys think. Type Y for yes or N for no down at the pinned comment of today's video. Before we move on here with some defensive line targets for the Crimson Tide, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Fanatics. You guys can get up to $35 off now just by going to chatsports.com/Bama Gear on this Alabama Columbia button-up shirt. You see the performance fishing gear on the back. I thought this one was really cool. I think it's also another very good Father's Day gift that you guys could do as well. Originally $70 only, or $75, I believe it was. Only $40 on sale right now. Just go over to chatsports.com/Bama Gear. You can get your dad set up with a new fishing shirt for Father's Day. One more time for you guys. Chatsports.com/Bama Gear, $35 off right now. I'll put that link down in the comment section and the description of today's video, and I'll see if I can find it over on the clickable link over there. And if I can, I'll put that clickable link over there in the corner of your screen as well. All right, let's talk about the 2 defensive line targets here for the Crimson Tide, JJ Finch and Nolan Wilson. Both of these guys were on campus this past weekend. JJ Finch a little bit lower rated, but I think Alabama really likes just his versatility and everything like that he could bring. Also, the number 2 player out of the state of Indiana. I think this is going to be a kid that you're just going to have to trust this Alabama coaching staff in terms of their evaluation. And I think at the end of the day, they kind of deserve your trust when it comes to their evaluations of a lot of these players. Alabama really right now battling with LSU, Tennessee, Purdue, Miami. LSU, before his official visit this past weekend, seemed to be the leader, but he still does have official visits to LSU, Tennessee, and Miami as well. So I do think those are 3 teams that are probably going to be pretty tough to contend with at the end of the day. And also you have the in-state team as well in Purdue. So you're going to have to contend with them as well. But it does sound like Alabama did a very, very good job this past weekend with JJ Finch. We'll see what happens with his recruitment. I would assume at this point he's going to go through all of his official visits. He's already been on campus to Purdue. Alabama now has LSU, Tennessee, and Miami set up as well. So we'll continue to keep you guys monitored on JJ Finch. Nolan Wilson, though, one of the top defensive linemen in this class, top 100 player, is a 4-star. We'll see what happens. I think this is a kid that, we'll see how his senior season goes, but I think he could possibly get up to that 5-star category as well. Doesn't have very long or very far to go to get up there to that 5-star status. And it sounds like Alabama really did knock this one out of the park. And it sounds like he is very appreciative of the fact that Alabama was the first school to offer him. That's not lost on him. The offer came back when he visited for that Georgia game last year. He was also on campus for another game. He was also on campus for an unofficial visit during the springtime and then took that official visit this past weekend. Him and his whole family were there, and, it seemed like from, the reading that I've done, 247 and On 3 both, it sounds like, they really did a good job in terms of, not just talking to him and, trying to recruit him. They're trying to recruit the entire family. And it sounded like, they did a very, very good job on that, and he really did appreciate that as well. He said after day one, all the coaching staff, all the players, everybody knew the names of his siblings as well. So, it wasn't just about getting him. It was about, making sure his family had a good time as well. So we'll see what happens with Nolan Wilson, but he does have a couple more official visits here set up in the near future. You got Auburn this weekend. Ole Miss coming up here in 2 weeks, and then Miami gets that last visit there on June 20th. So that one's probably going to be a tougher one, probably because Miami does have that bag. Ole Miss, he is from the state of Mississippi, but Alabama has done a very good job here. Recruiting the state of Mississippi. You got A.K. Deere, the number 2 running back out of the state of Mississippi last year as well. So, we'll see what happens. But Nolan Wilson does sound like Alabama has done a very, very good job in his recruitment. We'll see. Maybe he commits before these official visits actually go down. But I would assume it's probably going to be, probably soon after that Miami visit that we actually get a commitment announcement from Nolan Wilson. So if you guys want Alabama to land the number 6 defensive lineman in this 2026 recruiting cycle, let me know, show it, spam those RTRs down in the comment section of today's show.